And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, for the last hour of the fifth session of Halcyon City Defenders? Yeah, Halcyon City Defenders. I'll get this title eventually. At some point, it'll start flowing naturally.
I mean, it's episode 5. Hopefully you'll get it by episode 20, but by then you still won't remember which episode it is.
That's true. I mean, at one point, one of the things, becomes pretty hard and fast, and the rest just kind of slips into nothing. Anyway, So we have just we've just left the two scenes of respectively of Vigil, Diamond, and Starlight having a touching moment in a dilapidated arcade, and of White Sparrow, Nightshade, and Monica LaFay chilling at White Sparrow's place. And as we flip the page. We see in the top of the next page, we see a huge skyscraper, corporate tower looking thing, shining brightly in the late afternoon light, and we cut to the inside of a Graves Industry executive office on the top floor with this enormous half of the top floor panoramic view. Of the great sprawling city that is Halcyon City, and we see Deacon Graves walk across his office, communicating with a digital voice coming from his computer on his work desk, saying, "Well, yes, I am in fact quite convinced that that is the object you spoke of. Don't insult me. I know what I saw. It matches every designation." The voice asks, "And how did you manage to come by those designations?" "Oh, no. Let's not talk about that. I have my ways, and I'm sure you have yours. If that is not the object we seek, it would be a sad day for future collaborations. Don't test me. You know just as well as I do that the object you seek may have changed its appearance. Now, if that is the case, I'm sure you have other ways of finding out. We do, but it will be a risk to the event. Collateral damage. Yes. And I'm sure that has never stopped you before. We have a deal, Mr. Graves." "Very good, Miss Van Halen."
Do.
And
why do I have a feeling they want Diamond?
Then we cut
It's rude to refer to her as a thing.
We cut to later that same night. We see an establishing shot of the Dr. Supreme Museum of the Arts, which is this huge neo-antique architectural style, beautiful building with atlases holding up the front of it, and there's projector lights, of course, shooting into the sky. Groups of people. The red carpet is out. Limousines are arriving. The gala, this charity ball, is going on in full swing. There's some thunder going on in the background, but no, tonight is
Yes, there is.
nice evening. It's hot out, and it's hot out, and even as the sun has passed by down past the horizon, it is a beautiful starry night with nary a cloud to be seen.
Also, I'm just gonna throw out there for the wrestling geeks out there and those who are not. You're probably gonna be confused, but it can't possibly be Thunder. It's not Thursday.
God damn it! All right, and so we get this series of establishing shots of the place. We see guests of honor arriving. There is most assuredly we see the deputy mayor Diane Nielsen arrive. Talk to someone. We see Deacon Graves step out of a car, and I want to know, as a part of this series of establishing shots, where do we see you guys? And like, what do you look like? Are you like dressed in suit and tie and like blending in, or are you like chilling out like in superhero get up on nearby roofs? Are you staying out of sight? Are you in the open? What's your deal?
Oh, me first. We, I think we see for Sparrow, as we see the women's bathroom, an empty stall with a spider kind of coming down from a strand, and it lands, and it turns into Sparrow dressed in an absolutely stunning gown with, matching look.
Nice.
And she, washes her hands and leaves,
You're gonna
blending in nicely.
You're hiding in plain sight.
Exactly.
Cool.
There's definitely an advantage to being able to change your look on a whim.
Yep. What about the rest of you?
Diamond doesn't own the dosh to get dressed up. Even if she did own the dosh to get dressed up, she wouldn't get dressed up because why spend the money on getting dressed up? So, in her case, she is probably chilling it on the. Well, I don't think they will want someone dressed as she is when she's casual. With all the high and mighties of Halcyon City society.
Yeah, security is probably giving you a hard time.
Well, so she's not going near them.
Yeah.
That's the thing. She's not going near them. She's simply staying. She's there as an on the invitation of
Mr. Hardy Tidy.
of Mr. Graves, and if Mr. Graves has not made sure that security knows to let her in, then she's not going to kick up a fuss about it because, quite frankly, this whole place is giving her the willies already.
Oh no, absolutely. Imagine we imagine that there's been like a scene in like before this, like between scenes this has happened. You've been in contact with Mr. Graves,
yes.
and like about this event, and in that case, security absolutely stands down when you approach.
All right. Well,
like he might even have offered you like to like should I send you something to wear and throw away.
She would have quite politely declined. Simply she is weirded out in 600 different ways by the idea of getting all formal.
Yeah, makes sense. But yeah, security is getting out of your way.
That in that case, she's going to be the oddity at this great, fantastic gala event, where she is turned up wearing a general infantry hoodie and her ordinary boots and urban camo pants, and that's pretty much it. She's not made up. She's not dressed up. She clearly feels like a fish out of water, and yes, she is in fact still angry. So she's not exactly giving off the best of socializing vibes either, but that might be an advantage in this case.
Cool. And the rest of you? What do you?
I am like in superhero getup outside of the gala, and just keeping an eye on things because I definitely don't want to be in there exposing my identity to people.
Cool.
Well,
Sparrow have made a comment about, I think you'd look handsome in a suit.
Suits aren't for me.
Except if they're superhero suits.
Clever man.
And what about Starlight and Finn?
Yeah. Starlight?
Go ahead, Finn.
So Finn first.
Okay. So Finn would be like quite similar to his. He would have a getup quite similar to that old avatar that I had with the like 3-point suit, 3-layer suit with the very like kind of like Victorian-ish looking.
Yeah. So like some kind of
with literal.
approximation of, yeah.
yeah, literally with a top hat on. He would have with a top hat with a cane, because that's the fancy suit that he was, that he has.
So, and in your opinion, when we see this drawn like on the page, do you look extravagant and different, but ultimately stylish, or do you look awkward and awful?
No, this looked like because it was like customly cut for him. It looks, I would say it looks quite fine on him. It looks certainly extravagant in like the modern era. He looks like this kind of like posh British lord coming to a party.
Ah, of course.
Coming to a British party, to the American party. Like, he definitely kind of a little bit stands out. Well, a little bit. But he also has the because that was part of his schooling also, he has the official party mannerisms that he would have, but he also arrives with, instead of a bow tie or a tie, he has this I don't remember the name of it. It's like it looks like a pinned tissue, You know what I mean. Like, in general, I have no idea how this was called, because I have no idea how fancy things are named. Yeah, and he definitely has a cane.
Do you have like a raccoon mask on?
No, to be fair, like I wouldn't think that Finn would protect his identity. Like, he's pretty
he doesn't have a secret identity, as I remember.
Yeah, he doesn't have really secret identity here. Like, he doesn't have on him any discerning Vigil's logos or anything like that. But he also does not hide his face or stuff like that. But he's obviously not in the face I am from the Vigil.
Cool. And Starlight?
Well, Starlight has probably not been allowed to go to this gala for her dad if she weren't dressed up.
Cool.
So she is, though she has no clue how to walk in high heels, so she looks like a duckling trying to walk.
All right.
Will she accept if Sparrow offers to, I wouldn't say help, but help?
No.
What's help?
She doesn't want her help.
Cool.
Sparrow will have looked slightly confused.
So,
It's just it's not that, oh, do you want help? She's just no, I'm fine. And then she just waddles off.
Is this another case of you are you hiding in plain sight the same as White Sparrow is, or are you being all dressed up and then also wearing a mask to conceal your identity?
She never really did conceal her identity. People just can't see her face when she's powered up.
Yeah, so that's my question. Are you taking steps to hide who you are? Are you?
No, she hasn't ever done that before.
All right. So then the other question was, are you then obviously hi, I'm here with the Defenders and I'm a superhero? Or are you just I'm attending this party and not asking or answering questions and just waiting for something bad to happen?
She's mostly hi, I am this party and I'm very sorry I tripped over you.
Oh, okay, cool. So you're not
and she is actively looking for Diamond because she needs to see this. This is just hilarious.
Cool. So you're being relatively incognito while looking for the rest. So I think we see the lot of you have a good idea of where each other are. With the exception of Nightshade is outside. You can't see outside. So I think so the people we know are from the Defenders are respectively Vigil and Diamond. So you see Deacon Graves stands surrounded by people looking festive, dressed like him. You see important looking people who you might not be able to put a name to. He's standing there. One of them you can run. One of them is Diane Nielsen, the deputy mayor. They're having a conversation with these people, and then he notices you. He spies you, specifically you, Diamond, through the crowd. And he's oh, and then makes a show of it, to these very important people he's talking to. He's making a show of blowing them off. And it's like,
boy.
one moment, please. Please, join us.
Uh,
And like he waves you and Vigil over.
She looks to Vigil and clearly feels this. There is no question whatsoever that there are probably only 3 or 4 places on planet Earth that she would prefer to be any less than here. She feels, in every sense of the word, she feels wrong in this place, but yet there is, she hasn't been raised to be rude, so when he comes over or waves them closer or whatever, she will go over there.
Cool. And of course, White Sparrow, Starlight, you can be as close to or as far away from this as you want to.
Well, Starlight were
Relatively
already walking toward Diamond, or at least trying.
So you see Diamond being like waved over to a cluster of posh-looking people, and you of course recognize Deacon from earlier.
I think, in fact, that's part of the reason why why Diamond is so apprehensive at first, is because she was actually kind of looking forward to being rescued from the whole horror of everyone around her by Starlight getting over there, and now she's, damn it, bollocks. Okay.
I think Sparrow is close enough to easily be able to defend him, but not so close as she's not inconspicuous.
Cool. So when you arrive there, he's like, "Ladies and gentlemen, if I may have the absolute pleasure of introducing my saviors, my personal heroes." He says as if the heroes was a punchline, right? Haha, they are actually heroes. Here, this is Diamond, if I remember correctly, and you then must be Vigil? Is that correct? A member of that superhero team, yes?
Yes. My name is Finn. If you may, Vigil. I'm a member of the Vigil.
My pleasure, friend. He says, extending a hand. Deacon Graves.
He takes off his white glove because he obviously has white gloves on.
Obvious, of course. But who wouldn't wear a white glove?
Starlight wouldn't.
Common folk.
Yes, now we're back to that, are we? We're back to that again.
Shakes your hand. Like, yeah.
and he gives like this, like you would call it a upper class handshake, but
Everybody else would just call it a foppish thing.
The group,
Yes.
the group surrounding him with these important people, like look on. Some look on in silence. Some of them murmur and like ask, "Oh, what is this?" Like, please, Deacon, what
Is that
this?
a person?
These people here, I had the great pleasure of being personally extracted from a very precarious situation earlier today. They're here to make sure everything goes on nice and smoothly. Yes. It is so refreshing to see young people take an interest. And Diane Nielsen, who is standing next to him, is like, her face is like soured all the way through this conversation. And she like chimes in with a snide remark. She's like, well, that is one way of seeing it, I guess, though I have to disagree. These children should be home, studying. Not here. Really, this kind of vigilantism, it's only hurtful.
At that point, actually, because of the anger, when she says the whole "be at home and study" thing, what's her face? Diamond turns her head towards the deputy mayor, and when she does so, there's a slight robotic twinge to her neck as she does so, and there is that just a touch of red from her right eye as she looks at the mayor and says, "Some of us already graduated."
You notice as you look at her, there is something off about her. Because you have definitely like caught her attention in some way, but she seems to be staring not at you. You look in her eyes, she looks hateful. She looks downright hateful, not like dismissive or like just
No. This is revulsion.
She looks as though she personally, thoroughly,
Mark.
the very fiber of her being despises what she's looking at, and she's not looking at you. She's looking right next to you. Following
And
her.
What
right
is she looking at?
She's looking at Finn.
Oh yeah, I was
Yes.
about to say right next to me
Yep.
is Finn, obviously. So yes.
I'm like acting like I suppose Finn would realize who this is immediately because of the past, and would be like, "Oh, Miss Deputy Mayor, I didn't see you. I haven't noticed you. I haven't noticed you before. It's always a pleasure to see you." And he like gives like a gentle bow.
Would that you would start paying
Carver.
attention for the benefit of anyone really around you.
Yes, I'm sure that was a faux pas from my side. I shouldn't ignore a person of such high position in our lovely city.
There are other people,
My deepest
different
apologies.
people, who you should not ignore. People who look to you for help because they don't suspect that you are but a child and incapable of helping. And when that happens, people get hurt.
Well,
She is telling you who you are and how the world works. She is absolutely opening up on you. She wants to make you feel like a danger, and she wants to make you feel like a danger, and she wants to make you feel less mundane. Do you accept her influence?
oh hell no.
All right,
Okay, what is the?
all right. Roll to dismiss her
Uh,
influence.
I don't have a minister, so it's just flat to d6. Wait, I need to switch the screens. Damn it! Well,
No potential for you.
Ha
So,
let me just
let's see.
find
When you
the.
reject someone's influence, on a 7 to 9, choose one.
Reject. Okay, choose one. Mm-hmm. I will cancel. I'll cancel their influence and +1 and take +1 against them.
All right, cool.
Yeah,
So-
in
Yep.
I'll like as she's doing that, I will rebuttal with the Deputy Mayor, with all the respect, we all do we all just do our part, and I think the people looking up should be more I think more critical of what they see. We cannot be responsible of the perception of everybody. We can just do what's best in our power to protect the lovely city of Halcyon.
She looks at you you can see her she despises you, and her eyes become little slits, and she turns her head away from you violently, excuses herself from the group of people, and marches off.
I'm immediately going back to the general I suppose the general social group that we are standing in.
Actually, if it's all right, when she turns to walk away, Diamond takes out her pack of cigarettes. She's got no social graces in that regard, so she takes out a pack of cigarettes and lights one up. And then she looks after the retreating deputy mayor and quietly says, "Age is an issue of mind over matter. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. Mark Twain Madam Deputy Mayor, read.
Ah. Do your own damn homework.
Nice.
He's like, he's like looking at he's probably like resting his hands on literally on his cane, and it's like, oh my.
She,
She's so angry.
Like
you say that. You say that. She stops, like does a cold turn, walks over to you, walks into your personal bubble, looks at you like dead in the eye and says, "It's another mark entirely that I worry about. Ask your friends. Maybe you're the one who needs to read up on stuff." And then she walks off.
I've heard it. I've already heard of it.
Now, meanwhile, what do we see Starlight and White Sparrow do as this affair transpires, possibly within your viewing distance?
I think Sparrow's expression goes, oh no, a couple of times as she overhears the conversation.
You're watching like a really bad boxing match. You're like,
Oh, that hurt.
But she already feels guilty, and now she's just feeling even more guilty because, oh yeah, Mark, and we didn't visit you.
And she walks straight past you, not knowing who you are.
I am definitely not looking at her as she does.
Cool.
Anyway, yeah.
I'm just saying. Just wanted to underline again about the Finn. Like when you were listening to that conversation, you can clearly see that Finn behaves like really differently and much more confidently in this kind of social, social interactions than he does with all you've seen in teenage interactions.
Yeah.
Just that he speaks more
these are
fluently.
his kind of people. Yeah,
that he speaks more fluently. Like he knows what to say, when to say.
As awkward as when he.
You're trying to speak up, right? Like that's what's going on, and you're probably pretty good at it.
Yeah.
He's amongst his peers.
Yeah.
So we cut to outside. We just have a brief establishing shot of Vigil being on duty, not Vigil, of Nightshade being on duty. You sitting perched, probably on a gargoyle.
Of course.
Yes.
Looking down.
Next to one,
Mr. Edge.
Just looking around it. There doesn't seem to be anything out of the way, and just as you maybe comment that to yourself. We cut to a different perspective, a bit higher up, and from an entirely different angle of the same area, but from way further away, on some kind of rooftop, and we see a worm's perspective, close up of an area of the roof of the building, where we see a ring of candles are being placed and then lit. We see a pair of feminine fingers with black eyeliner, black
eyeliner around the nail.
black nail polish, and a little black stick figure on the hand. Draw up a circle between these candles. We see the form of Monica LaFay sit cross-legged in the circle, and then speak. And we see the speech bubble is full of weird symbols we can't read. And then the stick figure on her hand disappears, and a black shadow, a smoke-like shadow, emerges from the circle and streaks across the black night sky. Towards.
So does Nightshade see this?
No, you cannot make out the blackness of the shadow against the night sky. But what you do notice, a moment later, when you just we cut back to you, you're still looking. Looking down on the building, and then you spy moving through the lights of one of the projectors and diving directly for the roof of the building is a smoke-like creature matching the description of what you've been told by your teammates.
Okay, yeah. So seeing that, Nightshade kind of stands up from his little perch, and we see him touch his ear, and he I'm guessing we probably have some way to communicate.
Okay, do you?
I mean, we have cell
Our
phones,
Vigil communicators. Oh yes, we do have cell phones.
Wigicators.
Flip out a cell phone, like that moment of like, I'm a badass superhero, but I'm still a teenager, and then like whip out a cell phone.
Yeah, so I pull up my cell phone and text everybody incoming, we have company, and then I'm gonna jump for the roof building.
Yeah. So we see like at the bottom of the page, you like as you leap, we see you just texting something, and then we see you like do this like swan dive again towards the building, and then at the bottom of the screen is like a series of open cell phones from like the lot of you. That just says like that message, right? It's just like four images reading the same thing.
Wait, you mean 3?
Oh yeah, you don't know.
Oh yeah.
You're off the grid.
Exactly.
And we see Diamond standing there slack-jawed as she hates receiving text messages directly into her brain.
Mm-hmm.
It's it's 3 pictures of cell phone and 1 picture of someone, but like putting out a cigarette in the palm of their hand.
Yes.
Ah, nice.
Yeah,
I think
and then go on.
if you want to describe more, please do.
Yeah, so I was thinking like we flip the page and we see the like a glass dome on top of the main hall of the building, a crack open, and it's like a worm's perspective, like look up from the floor. It's like a whole full page of like the room full of guests looking up in shocked surprise. We see like all of you somewhere in the picture, like looking up as the glass from the ceiling starts dropping towards the floor, and a smoke-like monster creature has like just emerged, looking big and scary, and just behind it, cast against the night sky, is the form of Nightshade, like chasing after it.
I think perhaps the next picture then is a picture of Mr. Graves with a white light shining from behind him, and the one after that, a small white sparrow lands on his shoulder as the actual white sparrow steps in front of him.
Cool. And of course we have like it should be said, like everywhere in every picture we describe here, there are like banners denoting the charity event that's going on, right? And we have, of course, like there are like places like where people like make donations and so on. It's this entire like this entire show going on. But yeah, so we see what you described there, and just as the shadow emerges through the ceiling, Nightshade close on its tail, the creature dives towards the floor, glass shatter, like falling like raindrops all around it, diving straight for the form of Deacon Graves. Meanwhile, people are like trying to shield themselves as the glass dome comes down. What do you do?
Try to stop it. Obviously, try to save it, and I do that by trying to engage this damn thing.
Cool. You want to like get in this thing's business before it can attack you.
I want to tackle it before it gets to him, and I know that at least some part of it is what's it called? Corporeal enough to do damage. So if nothing else, she goes for the claws.
Cool. So
seen that it can tear things to pieces with that.
You jump at it. You hit it in midair. You and it like roll sideways in this like puff of smoke and whirling fists. The creature whips around, moving like almost in a serpentine fashion. Reforms itself in front of you. Does like this hideous metal ripping screeching sound, and then like comes at you, clawing at you. What do you do?
Punch it.
I will give it back twice as good as I get.
Right, so instead of stepping away from it, you step into it and just like starts clogging it?
Yeah, because if I don't, it's going to go for someone behind me who can't take it.
Yeah, that makes sense. We also like see in every picture like people very close by, like just scattering and like pushing against each other to like.
When I say the way I'm doing is I'm trying to force it back. I want it outside, even if I have to go through one of the windows with it.
Yeah, that makes sense. So you're trying to push it against the wall. Cool. So that makes sense to me. let's have you make a roll to see if you can accomplish that. Roll to directly engage. That's what
Danger.
Yeah, that's danger. Let's see what I can
Danger,
get out of
Master,
that.
danger.
Nice. Look at that full hit.
Oh.
Look at that sexy ass full hit.
Its face.
All right,
Well,
cool.
no potential for you.
No potential for me.
All right. So,
But the way I see it is, as long as I keep rolling like that, I won't need it.
right. So take a look in your in the handouts. There's a moves part 1. Blow that one up. You will be able to see on a directly engage a thread.
Yes.
You pick 2 of these. You exchange
Yes.
blows and pick 2.
Yes. Right. What I want to do is first and foremost, I will resist their blows because obviously this is a give and take situation. So I'm resisting them rather than dodging or avoiding them, because basically being indestructible does that.
Yeah. This is basically this is you saying you can't do a powerful blow against me.
You can't do a powerful blow against me, and by showing it that it is in fact completely and utterly and flipping powerless against me while I'm still pummeling its ugly mush, I want to frighten the thing.
All right. So I want to suggest you something, and that is, it seemed like you said you wanted to drive it like out of the way and like maybe like throw it through the window. You could do that in this move by taking something from it, and that something being its position in here.
Well, okay, if I can do that, then yes, I'll do that instead of making it afraid. I will take its position from it and make the blasted thing go, outside with me.
Yeah, cool. So it swings at you, claws like ripping across your clothes. We see like sparks scattering from your flesh as it claws like tears into you. It hurts. It really does. But it's not like an incapacitating pain. It's more like a kind of cold hurt.
Actually, one of the things that, if you remember, one of the things about her is she can't feel.
Right. I think you feel something, but what you feel is you feel a sense of inner cold as it touches you.
Yes, that makes sense. She just doesn't have much of a concept of pain for that reason, but yes.
Makes sense.
Which is all kinds of problematic in its own right. But yeah, she does obviously still. I mean, she can sense that she's being hit.
Yeah. But what tell us as it opens up on you and it swings its claws, you can see like it digs the polished stone floors up with its swings, scattering dust and rock fragments everywhere as it does so. Sparks fly from you. But describe to us like how you then like bring it and yourself like out. Do you like just put your arms to its elbows and like lift it up and like hurl yourselves out the window, or what is this?
Actually, what she does is she takes a couple of these lashes with these nasty claws it's got, and then when it comes back for another such slash and claw, if you would, basically what she does is she grabs a hold around the claws and like you would do if you grab the fingers of someone, she starts to break them backwards.
Cool.
Like she's trying to literally snap the claws off this thing, and then when she does that, she pushes it forcefully through the wall next to. Whether there's a window or not doesn't really matter. It's going out.
Cool. So that happens. We see this confrontation happen. However, while this is happening, for the rest of you, there is still the issue of like a ceiling coming down. Not a ceiling, but like a glass dome essentially exploding onto a bunch of people. And it's not safety glass either, right? It's like this decorative dome. So what ends up falling towards the floor, like it's like 12-foot spears of glass.
Shielding.
What do you do?
I think Sparrow will say, "I've got Mr. Graves. Protect the others." And then she turns and looks at him and says, "Please do stay nearby, Mr. Graves."
He turns and looks at you, and there is something like unsettlingly calm about him. He seems like he smiles at you like, another defender, I assume.
She nods, and Lightwing extends its wings, and a barrier forms around the two of them.
He looks around and he gives you a smile, much appreciated. Now,
Do you have an escape route planned?
No, not really. I guess you're my escape route, he says, smiling. I guess I banked more on you driving, like keeping people safe and driving things off than me fleeing.
She nods because as she realizes if he moves elsewhere, they'll just put other people in danger. And then repeats, in that case, please do stay put.
Cool. And I think we see this conversation happen in the very same panel that we see Vigil and Starlight dealing with the falling glass. So what does that look like?
Go Starlight.
Like Finn would like immediately turn to Starlight. Like and with a smile on his face, he's like, "Well, Starlight, you know what to do."
Nice.
And he winks because he winks.
Do you want... So this is a thing we need to also address, that this is a thing you can do. You can't just be like superfluous with it, but it can be done. You can comfort and support in the middle of a fight. It doesn't have to be this like...
Yeah, I know.
quiet moment.
I did it before.
Yeah. So...
I would angle for it if I can.
Do you feel encouraged and supported, Starlight?
I do have influence over Starlight.
That's true, you do.
I have to roll my burn.
Alright. Well, power up, girl.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yup. That is certainly a hit.
My wings are really powerful.
Yeah, so in the same picture, you're like, you can do it, Starlight. We see that, like, in the other end of the frame, there's White Sparrow protecting Mr. Graves, and then in the center frame is Starlight whooshing up.
Explosion of light.
Yep, Starlight.
That turns into a huge shield that is kind of made with the tendrils of light going out from her.
Cool.
Shielding everyone.
That's awesome.
So, rolling freak instead of savior.
Yep, roll to defend.
Don't fail this one. Huh. No, I don't.
There's a hit. Alright. The Vigil, would you like to help her? Would you like to put a team into that one? That could take you up to a full hit.
I'll help. I would help with her, but like basically providing moral support.
Yeah, you could also like we could see you like put like conjure a shield and like throw yourself in front of some people.
Yeah, but he's mostly like when he sees this like power, like giant power shield evoking, he's like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's the Starlight I know.
Awesome.
And like,
all right, so you're out of team.
That's not good.
This becomes a full hit. So you defend, and on a full hit, you can not only do you save them, but you also get to choose one of the options from down there.
Can head team back to the pool.
Yeah, you could do that.
I could also take influence over someone I protect.
Yep.
Or you can clear a condition.
That too.
Screw that.
Clear a condition.
But I'm not strong if I don't have a condition.
Burn bright.
True.
Burn bright like a diamond.
Hey.
Not known for being flammable,
Well,
but sure.
Actually, I think she is clearing insecure. Because Vigil is a bastard who is taking conditions away from her.
yeah,
That makes sense. It's good. Support.
he's like
Support
just
works.
thumbs up.
The Fonzie. You get that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
You're a new beacon!
Cool.
Prepare to be paralyzed!
Oh.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh dear.
Congratulations! You're now our cheerleader like our beacon were.
Okay.
So, what do we want paralyzed? Your legs or your arms?
So that's a cool like set of pictures we get there as this happens. Nightshade, you like land on the floor as you see Diamond engage this thing. Your team like springs into action, defending the people from the falling grass all around. as you see Diamond hurling herself through a window with this creature. What
And
do you
she's
do?
becoming metallic as she goes through the window. By the way.
As Nightshade lands.
Basically, he just became a member of the Night Prison Brigade.
We can hereby conclude that not only can he become any kind of chemical, he can also become poop. Oh my god.
Disguise. Anyways, Nightshade lands, sees that his team has the protecting well under control, so he bolts for the window to jump out and help Diamond.
Cool. So you start making you see look back, look forth, and you start making your way towards the window. Meanwhile, outside, you've just landed with this creature, and you folded it awkwardly, and it seems to be in pain because of what you're doing to it. It's twisted and awkward, and it makes this this ear-piercing screeching
Joan
sound.
is struggling with some sound issues currently.
Oh, okay.
It won't let her speak.
Oh. Well,
She's trying to relog into Discord and out again.
all right. Can she hear me? I guess not.
Well, she
If
just
not,
logged out
she's
of Discord,
logging
so...
out, so no. I'll see if
She's back in.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
Finally. That was problematic. All right. Well,
All right.
at least it worked.
So,
At least it worked.
you're bending this creature back and giving it what form? And as you do so, you find yourself basically rolling onto the grass outside, and
Accosted by Nightshade.
you lose.
Yes, who has, as I was trying to say, and thereby learned that I could not actually be heard, he has suddenly and inexplicably turned into a part of the Night Pissers Brigade.
You're like,
Ew.
no, thank you.
Ew.
So
All right.
He will be the new kind of supervillain.
as you're bending this creature
When you
in
feel the burn at night.
as you're bending this creature in awkward ways,
Yes.
your grip on it slips. Not in the sense that you fumble, but in the sense that your fingers go through it, and it seeps from your grip. It reforms in the air, and instead of being semi-humanoid, it seems to swell in proportion and grow a bit larger. And it looks like you're for a moment you're staring into this thundercloud, and we get a shot of Nightshade appearing in the window, and basically from over the shoulder of this creature, looking at you in the middle ground and then Nightshade in the background, as this newly reformed thundercloud of a creature, and this shadow monster bellows this again this crushing scream. The windows of on the side of the building shatter, and then it does this quick 1-2 swipe of its own form, whereby the shadows we see them basically penned as though the gutters of the page on the gutters in the comic book cut through the panel itself, to exemplify this creature tearing through the space around you, and you see these huge gashes being torn out of the side of the art museum, and Nightshade, you can see on the inside, as you manage to throw yourself to the ground, not getting hit by. Actually, I should not assume.
Okay.
This, should I? You turn up right there. You're actually completely in the line of fire. So you see these shadow, almost these horizontal sword slashes of pure shadow, pass through first Diamond, and then coming towards you and the building itself. What do you do?
Yeah, I'm gonna roll out of the way of that.
All right.
That seems like a bad time.
I'm gonna stand there and get beheaded.
You roll to unleash your powers.
Rolling.
Diamond, what do you do in the face of this? Because you
That'd
have
be
that. There is that moment of this doesn't look good, and you're in point blank range of whatever this is.
Sorry,
Hey, I
what?
made it.
You're in
What do you do against the attack?
What I do against it, I want to unleash my powers because, quite frankly, at this point, this thing has me absolutely infuriated, and what she wants to do more than anything else is to literally disarm it.
All right.
Literally.
So when you say unleash your powers
yes,
in defense of this attack, what I'm hearing is like you want to bulk up, like you want to draw on your reserves of endurance and like stand strong against the attack.
Yes, and if possible, turn it against itself. But yes,
that's
awesome. Exactly what I want to do.
All right, so both of you roll to unleash your powers. Let's see what's up.
And seeing as I have angry marked, I'm gonna take +1 on that because I have thick and thin-skinned.
All right, swing it.
So, let's see.
That was a hit. All right, so
also, I just want to point out here that seeing as I am now outside, I also have in a China shop.
Nice.
Oh, that's the one I directly. Sorry, I can't use that. That's when I directly engage a threat. So no problem. I would have wanted to use it there, but I can't. It's for a different maneuver.
So in your case, what happens is you basically like you see this attack coming, and you're like, this is gonna hurt me. This is actually an attack that is going to hurt me. And so you manage to draw on whatever you have. We see you like raise your arms, probably in like some kind of like, the boxer block, right? That's like both arms up. And then on the page before, we see again the gutters like are spilling through the page. But when they hit you, they like break apart. And only like two or three of them going over you, like pass towards the building itself. As the shadow breaks on your form and scatters. Nightshade, you managed to successfully dodge out of the way, drawing on your body's preternatural athleticism. You managed to get out of dodge, but as you do so, you see, because I'm actually you tell me if you take a condition or if I will tell you how the situation is unstable or temporary.
You can tell me how it's unstable or temporary.
All right. So what is unstable about the situation is you manage to duck out of the way. You're like, okay, I dodged that bullet. But the cuts split into the building, and on the inside of the building are these like beautifully sculpted support columns. The shadow just cuts clear through them, and they start collapsing inward towards the crowd of people trying to get out of the way. What do you do?
Okay. At this point, I yell, "Party's over! Everybody out!" And I start like ushering people out of the building.
Yeah,
forcefully if I have to.
One of the columns is right next to you, and it's about to flatten like a group of 5 people.
Yeah, I'm going to.
I lit it.
I'm just gonna have to defend them and see if I can shove them all out of the way.
Yeah. Okay.
Because my other powers are not going to be helpful.
You're just trying to basically.
I poisoned them all.
Or like just arms out to the side, just like flying body tackle the entire group out of the way.
Yeah.
All right. Roll to defend.
Go to Jade.
Good thing I've trained you in Savior then.
I know it's really high.
Are you high? That's a bad thing.
So
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Great.
So take your pick from the list. You do it successfully.
And then there's another one. You can do one more.
We want to add a team to the pool.
Cool. Team goes up.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Whenever we say that, I just envision that there's this big pool in some kind of swimming place, and we just add one more person. And when we spend one, we take one person out.
Meanwhile, outside,
one person drowns.
You've just weathered this blow. What do you do?
Well, it has now tried. It's given me what it has. I am now going to do my puny god sort of thing.
Sure.
And she is literally trying to rip its claws and arms out of its socket.
Cool. Give me a move to directly engage.
Yes.
Oh. That one you can use that thing for.
Yeah, you can exactly. And again, we're outside, so that helps. Let's see. Yep, and we could, So you know what? I'm gonna be an absolute selfish bitch, and I'm gonna take that team.
All right. How do you sell your teammates out doing this?
What I do is I realize that that they are already inside this building, which is which has been damaged.
Yeah.
What she could do is let this thing go and jump in to try to help them. But the way she sees it, this thing is enough of a threat that it has to go.
Yeah, so that is basically not gonna cut it.
Okay.
Because this would amount to you just like fighting it, and that's what you're doing. So I feel like you need to do something that endangers them or like puts them in the line of fire, like breaking it apart and then throwing it into the building.
The point is, I don't actually think I can do anything in this situation that would do that.
Unless, when you bulk up, you break the ground, making the building even more unstable.
That's true, because you know what?
You are in a china shop.
Exactly. So if I use in a china shop as well, then I take another. Obviously, what that does is, I can cause significant collateral damage to my environment by choosing an additional option.
Yeah.
And in this case, that significant collateral damage would literally be that the amount of shaking and quite frankly low-grade seismic activity that happens as a result of this would start to make the foundations of the building crack.
All right. Yep. I'm in with this. So this is basically like when you do in a china shop thing. This is like the rampage moment where we like a series of panels devoted to you fucking this thing up is going to wreck the shit out of the museum.
Yeah, especially since I've basically just taken. I now have 3. I have a full hit, which is 2 hits, and then I get an extra one from in a china shop thing. So it's 3. Conditions, right?
Yeah. So in that case, if you don't spend, so you can spend if you do this, you can get an extra hit, an extra thing from the list, which would be like if you rolled a full hit. You can also then spend your 1 team to take you up further by endangering your team in the process. That would give you 3 things you can pick from the list instead of only.
Yes, which is what I'm doing.
All right. So team gets docked. All of you gets put in harm's way as Diamond just opens the largest can of whoop ass on the South Shore and just goes to town on this thing. As illustrated in like a series of pictures of you like throwing this thing through the building and jumping on it and puny godding it as the floor caves and throwing it against the ceiling and the ceiling coming down. It's you're in a china shop.
Yes, I really am.
Cool.
And in the process, I am resisting whatever it tries to scratch me with, because yes, puny god and all that.
Yep.
And as a result, I am also I am taking their freedom, or its freedom, from it, because I'm pummeling it into absolute smegging nothingness.
Yep.
And I am creating an opportunity for my allies.
That's awesome.
Because basically what I'm doing is I am taking this thing to pieces in such a way and in such a complete manner that people who are near, and people will see this obviously, this should be enough to get people moving towards the front. No more, but we want to see.
All right.
They can basically, now it's up to them to capitalize on the whole thing. The people are starting to understand it's a good idea to evacuate the fucking premises.
All right, I get you. I know how that plays out. So the way we see this is the first thing we see being triggered is you giving your team an opening. You throw this thing through the wall and go to town on it. You keep it under control even as you wreck shit around you. And you give your team the opening to like corral people and just get them out of here. Which I assume we see happen. Guys, you feel free to interrupt me here or like say I'm wrong. But by virtue of the fight that is happening, Diamond is giving you a opportunity to get people away from the building.
Yeah,
you kind of have to, because the building is coming down.
Yeah, you have to like guide people out basically, and you can do this now.
Daniel, I have a question.
Yeah.
Seeing as Diamond is like beating this thing up, and I'm assuming it's partly breaking up since it's a smoky material or whatnot.
Yeah.
Based on my powers, could I take a sample of it, absorb it into me
That is
for possible study later?
you can, but you don't know you can, because your power is of substance mimicry, as far as you know, applies to poisons, and absorbing shadow is not a thing you've tried yet. So you are perfectly welcome to try it, but that would be like something new and exciting for your character.
Yeah, I definitely want to give that a try.
All right. So
that is cool. That is really cool.
It really is. So give me a roll to unleash your powers, and let's see what happens. And as you've never tried this before, and you're... I'm not even going to penalize you. Actually, I'm definitely going to penalize you, because not a building coming down and you never having tried this before is enough to penalize you. You're at -1.
Yeah. -1, okay. Oh, I would have made it too.
Yep. That's what happens. So,
all right.
In this case, what's up is... Let's see. You
quickly, Starlight, help him with the power.
I totally know what happens.
With the power of love.
Heck, I have foreshadowed what happens. For fuck's sake.
Well, I can't help him because someone's meant the team.
So
you're getting advancement though, so yay me.
Yay!
So here's how we see this play out. Just as a side comment, we do see the rest of you help people out of the building as you're giving this opportunity, or do you elect not to?
I think for Sparrow's case, she helps people, but she primarily helps the one they're supposed to protect. So she's kind of relying on Starlight to keep up her shielding, while she gently corrals the people in front of her and Mr. Graves out, shielding if needed.
Sure. So, and I assume the rest of you do the same?
Well, Finn will do something else, seeing that that they have the, like, pushing people out of the building well in hand and shielding them.
So that's not the case, right? So what's happening here is, this is just honoring the move. Joan elected to give you an opening, like an opportunity to help people out. And I'm just checking in with everyone if you're doing it. Because if you're not, then of course, like, I'm gonna cut back on the benefit of it.
I am.
Yeah, sure. He'll help too, because
cool.
There was something else in plan, but.
So we see this as a series of panels. I'm gonna take your move here, Thalmid, and just save it for just a minute.
Okay.
You help people out as this fight goes on around you. Beautiful pieces of artwork and the building in general are being crushed to debris around you by the bull in the china shop wrestling the shadow monster, taking it to town, as it were. It simply doesn't seem able to hurt her. You then took its freedom from it, correct, Joan? And you, yeah. In this case, that's definitely true, because you also take it out with this move. So the thing is vanquished by what you do. The point is, however, that you also put your team in danger by doing so. And I think the last thing we see is basically we see a panel, like the last part of your move here is we see a panel of you uppercutting this creature through the ceiling, jumping up, like just setting off from the ground, jumping. We see like dust exploding in all directions as you do so. The floor cracks under your feet as you jump up. Grabbing it by the leg, or like it doesn't have a leg, but grabbing it by its form, and then smash dunking it back down. It breaks through the ceiling. The entire ceiling collapses. The creature explodes into the floor, sending shards of stone in every direction. All of you take a powerful blow, except Diamond. So roll to take a powerful blow, all of you.
How do you roll that?
There is a roll plus guards. There is a powerful blow thing in.
Take a powerful blow. It says.
Plus conditions
marked.
Yep.
And then you have to roll low, right?
Yep.
Question: Can I replace my the powerful blow from with my never give up, never surrender.
What is your never give up, never surrender?
It's when you take a powerful blow from someone with far greater power than you, use this move instead of the basic move.
No, this is not applicable here. You're on the same
Okay.
on the same curve as these guys.
Oh no!
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Well,
Jesus, I joined the group and the first thing I do is kill all of you.
Daniel,
Oh no!
since I was already kind of using a defend action, can I have a bonus, or in this case, a minus?
Actually, no, you can't. And that is exactly because you're doing that, right? The way we see that is you keeping the shield up, and I'm still honoring you keeping the guy
No.
protected. He is not
yeah.
the one that hurt.
yes! I win the life! Potential.
Deacon Graves is explicitly not hurt by this, but you have to devote your shield to it. Or do
Alright.
you? Like,
Yeah, and I'm devoting my shield to it.
all right. So,
Actually, in that case,
And
so-
Starlight gets
have a
the
look
brunt
here.
of
Have a
it.
look here. So you just missed on this roll.
yes.
So what happens is totally like you don't get a bonus, but you like the way you weather this blow could totally be by extending the shield to also like shield you.
Yeah, that makes sense. Also, in case this is defending, and I'm using Lightwing to it, I should actually. That gives me a bonus of +1 normally for defending.
Yeah. This is
So
not
would you one lower, I suppose.
cool.
But
this,
we
this is
took
not
a
defending.
powerful blow. It's not the same thing.
Fair enough. But yes, I do that definitely.
How does Finn? How do you weather this blow?
Finn probably is like looking at the mess that Diamond is making. He's like a little bit. He's going into that like the same situation when the Starlight was going haywire, and he's basically again like projecting those
I'm
kind
not
of
going haywire.
No, he's
Like-
just remembering it.
yeah. It's
Oh.
basic. Yeah, it's basically again generating those like big energy gauntlet, and you just pulverizing the stones that are coming on him at him.
Cool. And let's see. So Diamond is not affected, of course. However, Starlight and Nightshade, you both like get hit square on.
And I guess Nightshade already had that failed move.
He does, but I'm gonna chain them together now. So
Cool.
That's what's gonna happen. Let's roll. Let's see what the powerful blow here is. So when you take a powerful blow, you can pick from the list what happens to you on this full hit.
Oh, where is that?
It's in the first move page. So you
All
can
right.
choose from the
Move.
top 3 options.
Where are they? Overwhelm, wield your powers. Take a powerful blow. On a 10 plus, choose 1.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Well, I will actually let Nightshade choose 1 first.
Alright.
Are you sure?
Because I know what I'm choosing.
So Nightshade,
So
what
I
happens
want
to
you to choose first.
Well, let's stick with tradition. I'm gonna lose control of my powers.
Oh, then we're too losing complete control.
Oh, that's perfect. And this
Because
time,
she's using all her powers to keep the shield up so people can get out, and suddenly she's assaulted by stones. She loses control.
so here's how that plays. You get like super winged, like you get like this shadow creature has this like ethereal almost explosion as it disappears. We see eldritch symbols appear in the air and like a brief flash of red as it gets crushed into nothing by Diamond's relentless assault. And then of course this explosion of the floor essentially coming down on you. And we see like Starlight, you land. A huge piece of the floor like lands over your leg, and you feel like this snapping pain through your leg. You hurt it hurts so incredibly much, and you You reach into your font of power and you blast this rock that has just like landed on your leg. It incinerates to pure ash and ceases to exist. However, as you do so, you feel the feedback of your power coursing through you. You've opened the floodgates and now the water is pouring too fast, and you can't seem to hold it back. You find that the only thing you can do at this moment is to just let it flow, and even as you try in vain to like pull it back, we see streaks of light like shooting out from you, almost like the projectors from outside, like casting beams of light into the air, except these beams are like cutting straight through the building. Burning things, incinerating things, teleporting things to other dimensions. And
Eesh.
as you do
Hopefully not people.
No, not people, luckily. But in this moment of you like losing control, you realize that there are so many people outside. The only thing you can do is to get this under control now. And that is the terrible way in which you lose control of your power in this way. You force the valves shut.
Is that me or him?
That is you. That is Starlight.
Okay.
You realize that you have to force the valve shut, or like for your powers to not murder everyone. And in doing so, you succeed. But you feel you feel numb inside, and you realize that you have temporarily numbed yourself to your powers. So in the rest of this scene, you find yourself unable to conjure up your great and terrible powers. It's almost like there's a split second of relief within you as you like feel the pressure going away, and then it's replaced with this feeling of helplessness. As you realize that you might need them, but nothing like seems to flow from within you as you call on them. So you have temporarily lost control of your powers in the sense that you cannot call them up. Just to juxtapose your usual fear of having your powers. Meanwhile, Nightshade, you have lost control of your powers.
Yes, I have.
You find yourself suddenly seeping with like poison. You are spilling. You are sweating. Your form is seeming to turn liquid.
Ooh.
And you realize that unless you get out of here, you're gonna hurt someone. Probably your friends.
Probably Starlight, who can't get away right now.
Yeah. So realizing that I'm like suddenly like melting or turning into liquid and I have no control, I'm gonna look for like a nearby drain or anything just to get myself out of the building and away from people.
So this is where I change your move into the move from before. Because you find that there isn't an avenue of escape. As you look around and you see like just like this, you're almost like hemmed in by crushed stone, as if the universe itself mockingly has decided to create a funnel for you to spill down into your friends. And there is only one way away from this, and that is that way, through the very breach in the wall that you so recently tried to follow Diamond through. And as you do so, you see the remnants of this shadowy creature, like having basically spilled, like it's almost as though shadowy blood has spilled onto the walls and like the area around you, as this creature has dissipated. And as you spill out onto the ground outside, we see you like looking down. You're dripping, or you're not dripping. You're actually oozing with poison that when it hits the ground, it turns into vapor. And you spy just in front of you this like shadowy substance, and this is where you try your move. You attempt to like absorb it. You're thinking maybe absorbing this thing will quell your poisonous powers. Maybe it will become something different. Maybe you will turn into harmless smoke that won't hurt anyone. And as you attempt and fail to do so, you just put your hands to this thing and realize nothing is happening. And you're assailed with the same feeling of helplessness that I described for Starlight, except your source is very different. Your source is one of feeling like you could probably do this. Maybe you could achieve it. But your powers are like this maelstrom inside you that won't let you get anything straight. And just as you realize that, something like draws your eye to the sky. And you see like 2 pinpricks of light descend slowly from the night sky, as if 2 stars falling simultaneously. And in the light of Starlight's eruption, then slowly dying, you just for the briefest moment catch what looks like a humanoid silhouette. And as the building's facade comes down behind you, opening basically the side of the building and the roof, this destroyed interior, opening it up into the outside, we have a single full-page picture. In the background, we have Nightshade outside of the building. In the foreground, and middle ground, we have the lot of you, Diamond included, having now landed on the destroyed floor of the building. All of you like picking yourself up, dusting yourself up. Starlight, like I imagine, like looking at your hands, like trying to conjure something up and failing. Diamond looking around, realizing like the extent of the damages. White Sparrow with the protective shield around you and
Checking to see if he's okay, maybe?
he seems perfectly fine.
Is he still calm as hell?
No, he looks around like seems pretty surprised. He's like getting like some tousled hair, like he's trying to get into place. But but other than that, he seems almost more impressed than afraid. And just
Damn, he's weird.
Yeah, and just as this happened, like in the utmost background, like even further behind than Nightshade, we see a giant cuboid humanoid figure descend on 2 boot jets as a giant war machine lands.
Huh?
Like a humanoid looking war mech.
Like a sentinel?
Yeah, like looking like that, but not that tall, like 2-person tall instead of like a single. It lands and it has like its face is like an octagon with a single visor of red running across it. Like imagine what's it called, the Centurions from Battlestar Galactica, their visors, like the red logo running back and forth, the red light running back and forth. And as it does so, there is a humming sound as it scans the area, and the scan fixes on Diamond, and we hear a robotic voice saying, "Weapon D located, sending coordinates, engaging." And that's where the issue ends.
Uh-oh.
So,
Cool beans!
I seem to have fucked everyone over.
Damn it! How dare you send Nimrod against us?
out of the frying pan and
Welcome
into
to the
fire.
team! That seems to happen quite often.
You should have seen when I fucked everyone over with
The thing
flying
is-
meteors and
Yeah,
shit falling
Here's the
everywhere.
thing. She's not actually... The destruction of the building, sure, is problematic. She's not actually ashamed of that. She's if she's anything, she's even more furious at the asshole who basically said, "Oh, I think it's gonna come for me again. Could you please come and protect me?" With hundreds of people around him.
But hey, on the upside, you just destroyed something very important. The entire building.
Digging
You might
graves.
not be angry anymore.
So the simple way of answering that question is: does the Doctor Supreme Museum of the Arts matter for jack shit to Diamond?
No.
All right.
Well,
then it's not important.
she technically broke 2 teammates, so
Yeah, that's a good point. You definitely hurt someone you might find important. You definitely hurt
That
Nightshade.
is a different thing entirely. That she feels bad about.
Yep.
Very.
You
But
may-
she does not give a single solitary fuck about a statue or a painting, regardless of how classical or important it is.
So remove your angry condition. You deserve that.
Okay.
For having hurt your friends who you find important.
Yep.
All right. Good for you all, you guys. So when we start next session, we know that you are going into fight with a Death Knight, a Van Halen Death Knight. And one of you is out of powers and has
there's a puddle.
an injured leg. One of you is dedicated to protecting a civilian. One of you is mostly okay, and the other one is losing control of his corporeal form. I'm looking forward to next session a lot, actually.
Me too.
Don't worry, people. I got this.
Don't worry, people.
So
I'm pretty sure I can run still.
as always, we should ask the important questions. So let's start at the top this time. Diamond,
Yes.
welcome to the top.
Thank you.
You're now at the top. So welcome to the game. Do you feel like you grew closer to the team, grew more into an image of your own self, or grew further away from the team?
Let's see, here's the thing. That I actually gave that some thought before you asked me. And it's a difficult question for me to answer, because at first it would have absolutely been a feeling of having grown closer to the team with the whole, the touching scene with, helping Starlight and so on at the mall.
Mm-hmm.
But with what has happened here, I think she feels that she has specifically moved herself further away from the team.
So here's a
why
trick.
would why would they want to have anything to do with her? Yes,
I get that. Let me maybe shed some light on this for you. So when you grow away from the team, you take influence over you away from some of the others, meaning you stop caring about what someone thinks about you. So with that in mind, I get what you're saying about like maybe feeling like you've distanced yourself from the team through your actions, but just to counterpoint that, like, I feel like this would make you care more about their opinions, right? Because you're like, oh, shit, I hurt you, I'm so sorry, right? Instead of being like, oh, I hurt you, now you don't
but
matter
I cannot.
to me.
I simply cannot say. I mean, linguistically speaking, it makes no sense. At least to me.
It makes sense mechanically, but not linguistically.
It's just it makes no sense to say that this has brought her closer to the team.
I mean, so
Well, maybe
killed
she
two of
grew
them.
into her own image.
She does consider herself dangerous.
She does consider herself dangerous. She does think of herself as a weapon. I think that might actually be more like it than yes.
yeah, absolutely.
Because then that would make sense that, oh no, fuck, I feel so close to them, but I'm dangerous even to them.
This is precisely what I was told would happen. This is what they've been saying all along.
You are a weapon.
I am a weapon. In fact, yes, precisely.
You need a proper handler. You will hurt someone.
If I have a proper handler.
Don't worry,
I'll hurt someone
Finn is
as well.
here to help you with that.
All right. So, we
yeah.
know how you see yourself. We know why. Shift one label up and shift another label down.
She definitely moves. Let's see what she moves down.
Savior down, freak up.
It's definitely freak up. There's no question of that.
I would suggest either savior or mundane.
It could also be
Yeah,
superior, like you don't have any trust in your own faculty.
I was precisely thinking of superior because assess the situation. She clearly didn't.
Oh, that's
do
true.
that. So I'm thinking I'm moving that one down, superior down to nothing, because she clearly lost, the eagle eye of the situation there.
Yeah.
And freak goes up by one.
Alrighty. That looks nice. So, dangerous freak. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That is
So,
a wonderful
welcome to the club.
self-image. Delightful self-image. It's so hard being a teenager. Alright. Next up is Finn. Finn,
Oh,
do you grow
really?
closer to the team, into your own self-image, or away from the team?
I think Finn grew closer to the team. He was pretty much on the ball the entire episode, mostly.
I absolutely believe you. Who made you feel welcome?
I think actually Diamond, because she kind of, complimented him, I suppose, with out of nowhere declaring him like openly, because nobody really before did that, but
It's like an open
or
display
like
of trust.
the like designating him as a boss or quote unquote leader.
Yes.
And I would say he's quite taken back with that.
Cool. So,
'Cause,
give influence to Diamond,
Yeah.
Thank you.
and clear a condition or mark potential.
Against my better judgment, I will clear a condition.
All right. What do you clear?
Only condition that I have, afraid.
Oh, awesome.
You're no longer afraid.
Leaders cannot be afraid. Come on.
Yeah, sure.
It also makes sense in the fiction in that he encouraged Starlight, and that definitely seemed to work.
Yep.
All right. So not Diamond. What? What am I saying? You always have Diamond. Nightshade.
Diamond again.
There. Joan, once more, please.
Nightshade, come on.
Yeah. So Nightshade, do you feel closer to the team,
Nightshade.
closer to your own self-image, or further away from the team?
I think probably grew into my own image.
All right. What is? How do you feel and why?
Probably because he is making more connections outside of the team and being able to be himself, hanging out with Monica and Nelly.
Yeah. So this is about like what happened when you weren't a superhero.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's totally awesome. Yeah, I dig it. So what does that mean? Like, what? Adjust your labels, I guess.
Mundane is going to go up.
Awesome.
And probably danger down.
All right, cool. You are topped out on mundane, my friend. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
He's Mr. Ordinary.
All right.
That's right.
Starlight. Did you grow closer to the team? Grew into an image of yourself, or grew away from the team?
I think she grew closer to the team.
Yeah, I can see that. Who made you feel welcome?
Suddenly, partly Diamond and partly Vigil.
All right.
Diamond because she realizes there's someone else who can make extreme amount of messes as she can.
Yeah.
And because they both encouraged her.
If I was to ask you to pick one of them, who would you say is the most significant for this session? Who made you feel
Diamond.
more welcome?
Diamond has shown her that she is not the only dangerous person here, and it's okay.
Cool. Give influence to Diamond.
Thank you.
Cool. So you have influence, and either clear a condition.
Didn't she already have?
That's a good question. Did you give influence to Diamond earlier?
If she hasn't noted it, then no.
All right. So in that
Then
case,
it might have been the other way around.
Yeah, I gave to
Starlight,
but I don't think Starlight gave influence to.
Well, now you have.
Now she does, but yes.
And clear a condition or mark potential, AJ.
I'm going to use that condition to make you eat a hot dog.
Well, I am taking potential because then I'm only one away from getting a new advancement.
Awesome.
Ooh.
And last but not least, White Sparrow. Did you grow closer to the team, grow into an image of your own self, or grow away from the team?
It's one of the two first ones. I'm not quite sure because I definitely feel like she grew closer to the team, but it's not anyone standing out. It's more of a we work well together kind of thing. And on the other hand, she also definitely grew into her self-image, but that would be her self-image of being a savior, and that's already maxed.
Yeah. So what do you think holds most true?
Since I can't point to anyone in particular, I'll say she grew into herself.
All right. What are we adjusting? How do you see yourself and why?
I think I will shift danger down and superior up.
Awesome.
Yeah, that makes sense. That definitely makes sense.
So how do you see yourself and why?
So she definitely does not see herself as dangerous. She sees herself as a savior and someone who keeps people safe, and she doesn't think her powers will harm anyone. And conversely, she definitely felt like she'd made the right decisions protecting the mark, and that her kind of going, I got this guy, you guys help, was, she doesn't feel superior, but she feels like she has a good grasp of the situation.
Excellent.
If that makes
Let's
sense.
see.
Like
Let's
thinking-
see.
Yeah,
Let's see if that shifts next time when she realizes that there are two people who cannot control their powers. As a result of her, I take this guy, you fix the rest.
Oh no, I would definitely say that's definitely not because of her protecting the people. That's probably more because of the whole destroying the building.
I think that's probably a lot more down to Diamond and her rampage through the building with a shadowy, demony, what's name, foul.
I already
creature.
love having a bull on this team. Like this is already paid off 100 times.
What to be fair, what I'm looking forward to is to having a serious butting heads about this whole situation with Diamond,
So I need to ask
and
you.
that I can imagine it will end up in a fight.
Maybe.
I mean, in a like sparring thing.
That sounds cool. I would love to see that. However, before we round up for today and think about what could happen next time, I need to ask one more question of you, White Sparrow.
Yes, you do.
At the end of this session, answer the following question: did you make progress on defeating your nemesis?
That depends on whether or not the downtime flashback thing counts.
I don't think so. I think that is. I mean, so that definitely happened. I don't feel like that is progress on defeating your nemesis. I think that is you maintaining happiness, which is not the same.
I would. My argument would be that since she's been filling her power battery with tons of happy memories with Nightshade, she's empowering herself. But it also didn't happen, during the actual time of this session.
Yeah, I'm gonna be an aggro GM, and I'm gonna say I don't think you did. So
I can definitely accept that.
mark your doom track. How are we looking for your doom, by the way?
I'm in 3 out of 5, and when it reaches 5, I'll get a new power.
Yeah, you'll get your first doom sign.
Oh, I wonder if I should make some sort of visual representation of that.
That could be cool.
Yeah, good. So, that's all for this session. Thank you guys so much for joining me. This was hilarious. I've been looking forward to playing this game
Yes.
for a long time. And,
I'm so happy to be back.
Is it Saturday the week after next already?
yeah, it's in 2 weeks.
Yes.
Yeah. Why isn't
But
it
how
that yet?
about the
Why
weekly
aren't we
game,
there
though?
yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
Can we skip time?
I mean, I don't know that you noticed this, or maybe you heard it when I talked about it, but time is kind of like a main theme of this campaign. So
Yes, I think I've noticed.
So, let's ask the real question. How about that weekly game, though?
yeah, that's a good question. Looking towards
Come
the
on.
future. Speaking of time. But yeah, so anyway, I'm glad you enjoyed yourself. This was fun. Joan, welcome to the team. It's a joy having
Thank
you
you.
here. Looking forward to seeing more Diamond shenanigans.
Oh God! Don't even start.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
Oh, she is gonna be a Tasmanian devil of destruction in this thing.
I believe you.
And Starlight is so happy that it's just like, I'm not the only one who's so destructive. Oh my god, friend!
Yes. It's a bonding moment.
So
I just brought down an art gallery. It's an art museum. It's a bonding moment.
I
Yeah,
imagine
left.
when she looks around and then goes, it wasn't me! Wait, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. It was it wasn't me!
All right.
So
Okay.
we close this issue. We flip to the front page. The front page of this issue is the defenders in a semicircular formation in the bottom page, where the 4 original defenders in the semicircular position in the front foreground of the bottom page. In the middle ground, we see Monica LaFay, looking dark and looking dark and inviting. We see like mirrored her. We see Deacon Graves, looking in charge, and in the background, her face taking up the majority of the front cover. is Diamond's face, and it has this. It's I don't know. I don't remember what the trick is called. It's like this trick you do with visual imagery, where there's like 2 layers. So when you flip it, then depending on how the light falls, the picture changes.
Oh, it's the hologram.
Yeah, and when we do that, her half of her face changes to a like the mechanical face.
Nice.
I have a suggestion for the the subtitle, what we call it.
So I have a suggestion for the title too.
Mine would be Diamonds Crashing from the Sky.
I would call it a diamond in the rough.
Also great.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Diamond in the Rough is a good one. I also like Allies and Adversaries.
Oh, that's also good. Well, those are potential titles.
Yeah, these are. It's called all of those,
depending on the country.
Yep.
Or the print.
Exactly.
There might be a special edition print run.
It's a weird.
I will say perhaps Diamonds Crashing from the Sky would be the UK version.
Yeah. It's a weird issue. It's like it was localized by Google Translate, so it's like
yes, I like that. Yes, that works.
So if it goes through enough, then in Japanese it's called something about diamonds roughing it up.
Cool.
All right, so that's all for tonight, everyone. Thank you for joining me. For you, dear viewing audience, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be back in sometime, but we'll be back hopefully in 2 weeks with more.
By the way,
what? Hello.
By the way.
Yes.
Happy Tabletop Day, everybody.
Oh yeah.
Happy Tabletop Day, everyone. That's true. Well, in that case, I guess you won't be hearing this on Tabletop Day. But all the same, still, happy belated Tabletop Day to a lot of you. And thank you for joining us on CharismaToAC. We'll be bringing you more Defenders of Halcyon or Halcyon City Defenders, depending on whether I can get that right. But that's all for now. Thank you, and goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.